Most to prove in college football in 2022. Again, not hot seat. Most
Scott
to prove.
Frost. Are we going SEC or like college football?
Mine's not in the SEC, so.
Okay.
It's Scott Frost. And it's not because Scott Frost is very much on the hot seat. It's because it felt like Nebraska made a little bit of progress last year. Like, they were less bad. Their losses were close. They were in games. And Trev Alberts, the new athletics director at the University of Nebraska, decided to give Scott Frost another year. And Scott Frost made some concessions in his contract to hang around for another year. And the pressure is on him to take being close and being less bad and turn it into winning those close games and being a good football team and creating an atmosphere surrounding that program that inspires Nebraska fans to believe that they can be relevant and that they can be competitive and that they are not dead as a football program. And I think that's a lot of pressure because it's not just pressure to win. It's the pressure to reinvigorate an incredibly proud and passionate fan base that a lot of are ready to kind of just move on to something else, somebody else. So I'll go Scott Frost.
It's a good one. There's a lot of coaches that, like, they're good coaches, winning coaches, but they had big years last year, and they got to prove that that wasn't just a one-off. Jim Harbaugh is one of those guys. Finally gets it done. All right, do it again. Kirby Smart is kind of one of those guys. Won a national title. Okay, well, Georgia's happy about that, but now the appetite has been whetted. They're going to want more. I'm not saying, again, we're not talking about hot seat, but there's something to prove of, okay, it wasn't just a fluke.
Now, you argued against that concept 2 days ago when Haydad said when Borky said there's no pressure on Chris Lavonis. He won a national championship last year. You're like, yeah,
I did not say that. I did not say that. He said there was no pressure. I'm saying there was pressure. There is pressure.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, he was arguing against me.
My bad. Misinterpretation.
How dare you?
Anyway. Misinterpretation. I misremembered.
Did your headset have a hum in it? What just happened there? Anyway. So, Harbaugh, Smart.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. Lincoln Riley. All right, you got the big job that evidently that you wanted. You got the big paycheck. Can you bring USC back? There's some big-time coaches that have pressure on them this year that have something to prove. Brian Kelly is another one.
The one I thought of was Dabo Swinney.
You just don't like him.
Well, he is at a very, I say unique. He's lost offensive coordinators before, but this is different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they ended up winning 10 games because of a bowl game, but they were 9-3 in the worst ACC season in quite some time. Wasn't a very good ACC this year. Pittsburgh and Wake Forest met in the conference championship game. Bad ACC. They lose 3 games. DJ Uiagalelei, with all of his NIL endorsements, including Dr. Pepper and Heisman odds, regressed dramatically from what you saw in 2 games the year prior. And then he loses longtime defensive coordinator Brent Venables. And to boot, he loses his offensive coordinator and athletic director as well, for whatever that may be worth to you. This is the first time Dabo Swinney got Sabaned, where you win and everybody's gone. But he didn't exactly win this past season. They weren't good, and everybody's gone. Lost good players to the draft and lost his longtime defensive coordinator and his OC as well. And then he promoted from within. So I'm not saying that if he doesn't win at a high level this year, he's not a great coach, because he is. You don't win national championships and go to playoffs if you're not a great coach, especially at a program that you kind of built yourself. But if they are still average for them this season, or maybe even worse, it might say a lot about why Clemson was winning as opposed to just it's Dabo's thing. Replacing a guy like Venables, if you don't do it right, says a lot.
College football is different than it was even 3 years ago when he was, or whenever they won the national title last. The game has changed with the portal and NIL. There could be the situation of the game has passed him by this quickly.